Hi, this is T. Foxy Wyckoff, and this is Let's Talk Business and Real Estate, where faith, hope, and determination comes alive. And you can't talk business without talking real estate. Oh. The Lord will bless your barns, and He will bless your hands and everything you put them to do. The Lord will bless the property in which He's given you. Tune in to Let's Talk Business and Real Estate on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on the Boss Up Houston Network.
Hi, we thank you so much for tuning in today. You know this is Let's Talk Business and Real Estate with T. Foxy Wyckoff on the Boss Up Houston Network. Guys, let's get it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about today what we're going to be discussing. As I stated before, some of the content is going to overlap because I have to continue to reiterate, okay? Now, this is Let's Talk Business and Real Estate, Business Credit Part 2, okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about today, Business Credit Part 2. Just continuation of what we did on last week as it pertains to the credit. I wanted to make sure that I first off give you the content and then go and greet you all. How is everyone doing today? I'm so happy that you could tune in with me. It really makes my day. Remember, here at Lexus Companies, we want to make sure that you are getting the meat that you need to be able to cook. For those of you, metaphorically speaking. So you can't have one without the other unless you're a vegetarian. So let me rephrase that as well. You can't have the vegetables if you don't know what vegetables to eat. Okay? Pescatarian, fish, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm being a little sarcastic here. But you get what I'm saying. We want to make sure here that you're taken care of. So this network has been so gracious to allow this podcast to be here, to be able to help our small business owners to generate wealth, not only wealth, generational wealth, if you mean. So with having said that, we're going to be talking about the Business Credit Part 2. And once we get back, we will continue our discussion with Business Credit Part 2. Once again, this is T. Foxy Wyckoff on the Boss Up Houston Network.
Events and Adventures knows how to make the most of being single. Get social, in person, try new things, and just have fun. Join Events and Adventures. We've been doing the single life right for over 30 years. 30 great events every month. Just visit eventsandadventures.com. Hey singles, do you feel it? The feeling like it's time to start having fun again? If you do, then you're ready to celebrate with Events and Adventures. There's never been a better time to join than right now. Meet new people with a packed calendar of fun events, exciting adventures, and future memories. It's time to live life to the fullest, to high five, skydive, and feel alive again. That feeling is here at Events and Adventures. If you're single and ready to celebrate, visit eventsandadventures.com to get started. That's eventsandadventures.com.
AfterA-Date is for committed couples that are either engaged or married and would like to keep the dating in their marriage, fight for the family, and lower the divorce rate one couple at a time. We plan 30 to 50 events a month that include workshops, seminars, webinars, experts, and events all around town. This is for couples that want to develop friendships with other like-minded couples that take their marriage and vows seriously. We will also be offering premarital help so that you will not be a statistic. Would you and your partner like to take international vacations together with other couples and at group rates? When you are home, you will learn your city as you go to each new event. Your membership includes all of our locations. We take the guesswork out of creating, having, and keeping a strong marriage. Contact us today.
Are you single? Maybe you're divorced or new in town. It's time to meet your match with Events and Adventures. Whether you're low-key or adventurous, come hang out with tons of like-minded people at exciting group activities. The best part? Everyone is single. From happy hours and trivia nights to outdoor adventures and weekend getaways, Events and Adventures has something for everyone. We're all here for the same reason. So come be part of a community made for singles. Your match is waiting for you to make your move. Visit eventsandadventures.com to get started. That's eventsandadventures.com.
Hello, guys. We thank you so much for tuning back in. Once again, you're on the Boss Up Houston Network with Let's Talk Business and Real Estate with T. Foxy Wyckoff, the one and only. I'm back at you. Before the break, we were talking about the content, which is Business Credit Part 2. Once again, let me reiterate, some of these things that I've talked about in the past will also be overlapped due to the fact that they're important as well. In my opinion and in my experience, they're important, okay? So last week we talked about the business credit. That was part 1. This is part 2. Okay, now, I don't think that we can talk about business credit without talking about your personal. Once again, I want to make sure that your personal is good, okay? So that way, if you ever have to fall back on your personal, you want to make sure your personal is good, and you still want to be using your personal, for little things. Once you build your personal, you want to make sure that you're using those accounts that you have on there that are reoccurring, involving, and installments, because if you don't use those, they will shut those cards down, because we're in the climate of COVID, and there are different variances coming. So the banks want to make sure that you are using them, especially now. If you go a period without using them, they may suspect that, you're sick, or, death has came upon, you or your family. So we want to make sure that you're keeping your personal credit as well. Now, when you are thinking about business credit, you got to have a business. Once again, I stated last week, whatever you're doing for a profit is business. And whatever you're doing for money is a business. So you need to legalize that and get your DBA, or incorporate the business, do an LLC or a incorporated business, if you will, okay? In the LLC, that's Limited Liability Corp. You can have partners. Typically, that's where you see LLC, those who have partners. And then with the incorporation, remember there are 2 different types of incorporation. The most common one is a C, that's regular, and then the S. The S presumptively gives you more tax benefits, if you will. But it costs, the S Corp costs more, and you kind of have to have everything in place. Also, I also talked to you about attorneys. You have to make sure that you have an attorney on retainer, because there are things that come up that you may not know of, and then you receive summons and things of that nature. You can always give it to your attorney, because you have an attorney on retainer. As I shared with you all last week, my cousin, whom I love, her business was taken from her because she did not have an attorney. She had her DBA, she had her EIN. She was not yet incorporated. She had just became incorporated, I think probably within a month. And then this lady befriends her, and because she likes her product, because she has celebrities coming in, the lady was able to take the business. Because now what you want to do is you want to go get an attorney when a summons come. No. You have to have an attorney up front. Remember, I said with the attorney, you interview them. You make sure that you're getting a free consultation. It may only just be a 30-minute or an hour. When you get ready to interview your attorney, you want to make sure you have questions that are pertinent to your business, okay? Also, you want to make sure that if something criminal comes up, that the attorney can represent you via state and on a federal level. That's very important because a lot of attorneys don't practice federal law. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to that as well. I know you're saying, oh my God, T. Foxy, this is so much, but it's not, because you don't want to have your business taken from you. You know, my cousin's business was named after her late mother and grandfather, and the woman just came and took the name, and I'm like, oh my God. But as I stated, it was really not too much I could do. So in that instance, you know, we become defenseless and we become combative. She really was not, because her personality is not like mine. But you know, anybody that knows me, I was ready to get it. Okay. Oh, where they at? We're gonna pull up. What you want to do? You know, because I don't like injustice. I don't like when people, you know, try to take advantage of someone, and they know that that person doesn't have what they need, or that person did not get everything set up properly, you know. But her business was moving so fast. And, you know, I frequent the store, and I never thought to ask her, okay, you got this, you got that. So now when I meet people, I ask all of these questions. Well, ever since then, I ask all of these questions. And of course, if I'm actually creating your business and doing business A through Z for you, I cover all of that. So, and maybe that was, you know, a mistake of mine. I'm gonna take it as a learning mistake, but I just didn't know. So you want to make sure you got that attorney, okay? Then once you have all that taken care of, now we want to get into your business credit. Your business credit is generated with Dun & Bradstreet. I call it D&B for short. And once you get your profile, now the criteria is once you get your profile, you begin to get your accounts, and we'll go to those accounts. You begin to get those accounts. They report to D&B, and now you have 100 pay-it score, which is the best score you want to have with D&B. Also, there is Experian Business. You want to make sure that you get your profile with Experian Business, so everything is going there as well. This is going to just make you more marketable, so that way when you're getting ready to do what we call business or big business, or get these loans, you'll be able to do so, because when they pull your D&B and your Experian, you let them know that you're Experian Business as well, they will be able to extend lines of credit to you. And in business, we want really big lines of credit, you know, anywhere from $50,000 on up. That's the goal, okay? You can take that business credit, you can do what needs to be done. You know, we have a logistics company, so what we want to do is we want to be able to take that and buy a truck, right? And then just pay it through our credit. That's the best way to do it. In business, anything that you're doing, you want to make sure that you're buying it in the business and that it's hitting those reporting companies such as D&B or Experian, and Experian Business as well. Okay, now I love D&B, especially back in the day. It was much easier. I do think that it's easy now, but they've thrown in these fees, so you have to be careful when you call D&B or you get online. You want to make sure that it's free. It's free to start your profile. Okay. Now what they've started doing is they've started charging you for the service. But there's a way to get around that service because they have many different products. I'm looking down, Pretty People, because I'm just looking at the product. Always, when I do my research, even though I have it in my head, I always like to look at it again. And it made no sense to write it down because it's right here. Some of the things that I'm looking at when you go to the DNB Dun and Bradstreet original site is you can request your DNB Credit Intelligence free trial, okay? Which also lets you know how you look as it pertains to a creditor, okay? And then they also have a product where it says try DNB Hoovers for free, okay? And that's talking about, that's putting you in this, in the arena of being able to receive leads, which will lead to money, okay? Let me see. There are a lot of different products for the small business, which is what they advertise. But what I want to say to you is you want to start very small, okay? You don't want to jump out there and be doing these different things that will cost you money. So we want to go with what we can obtain now, and then within a 30 to 60 day period you increase on that, okay? So you want to be careful because you want to make sure that you're in business and that your business is actually profiting, okay? Because you don't want to be spending out a lot of money. Now, you can do that if you've already budgeted for your business and say, hey, I got 10 grand for my business. You can do that, or 5 grand, right? What we did was we just put money back and it's actually sitting there in the bank. And when we get ready to do something, well, we go to the bank draw from our bank account, like the cards and the accounts and things of that nature. Okay, but everything is coming from the business account. Also, let me reiterate that as well. When you're doing business, you want to make sure that you have your business account. Okay, you say, well, tell us again how we get the business account. Well, you get your DBA, your LLC, or your Inc. You get an EIN number with that. You take those two products and you go into the bank and you open up a business checking account, okay? You could also do savings, but whatever floats your boat, whatever you want to do, okay? But you want to make sure for the business, you want to make sure that all the monies is coming in there, you're paying yourself from that as well. One of my CPAs, that's my affiliate, stated to me that I really needed to make sure that we're paying ourselves with a check. So I used to, oh God, checks are absolutely no. I still use checks to this day. So you want to make sure that you write your check out, and in the memo you want to put, from what period to what period and what it's for, right? So that way, if you're ever audited, the IRS can see what you actually made, right? As opposed to what you didn't. Please, people, do not commingle business money with personal money. This is how they get you with the taxes. Make sure everything is clear, okay? We traveled here recently, and I was looking at my receipts. We have a ton of gas receipts. We don't have a lot of food receipts because I don't like to eat all that much when I'm traveling, in the sense of driving, if you're on vacation, you're going to have receipts for this or for that. But we were traveling, taking care of business. I have tons of receipts. So I have separated those receipts myself, and those receipts will go in the in the different months, if you will. We have them going all the way back to February. So I have to go back to those months, put the gas in there. Some of the things that we're doing as well, I will actually name my receipt, entertainment, business, or N&W. So the CPA knows, if you will, this is personal, this is business, okay? on those receipts, yes, that's what I want to tell you guys too. If you're doing those receipts like that, there's several apps in which you can scan them and save them, and it'll categorize them as well based upon the reading of the receipt. But I looked at one of those. I didn't like it, but I didn't go back because I didn't have time. So right now, to show my daughter business as well, my daughter, I actually separate the receipts, circle the amount, write it out, name it, and my daughter actually goes in and does the calculations on it for me. So we do that on a monthly basis. But because we have so many, I just told my little one, well, we're going to do this on a weekly basis. That way it's not, time consuming, if you will. So at any rate, that's just a little bit to help you along. Okay. Getting back to the DMB, they have different plans for you. Once you start, I see Credit Signal for free. I see Credit Signal Plus, that's $15 a month. I see Credit Monitor, which is $39 a month. The Credit Monitor is just going to let you know who's been looking at you. But I can tell you, when I went in, I don't think that I paid for this. I don't think that I did. That's what I'm saying. Go in minor, and then within a 30 to 60 day period, if you're not getting what you want, well, then you can add these other services, if you will. But you want to make sure, because if you're doing business here or there and no money's coming in, these little amounts add up. I'm telling you, I've got amounts coming out, but I have them on different credit cards. So that way my credit is constantly going. You got to look at that as well, guys. When you want to make sure, based upon the information that I've given you, which is make sure that your account is active. So, and that's even if you have your business credit cards and you're not really doing too much right now, you still want to use it, right? Just use it a little bit. Just use it for gas, or treat yourself to a cookie or something like that, because my daughter loves, crumble cookie. So we'll go there. $20, but make sure you're using it, okay? I just told my partner, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the different amounts that we have to pay per month on the different cards, so that way it's there, right? And you know that you have the continuous service that you need to run your business as well. Okay, so that was my Dun & Bradstreet. Also, I like Dun because they give you a concierge service for your business credit as well. Experian, I have not dealt with Experian a lot. I'm just going to keep it 100. But that service is out there for you as well. I do know that you do have a business representative when you're dealing with Experian, but I don't know if it's a concierge service, so I can't tell you that. My Mr. Rodriguez is who I deal with at DMB. Okay, so for any questions, sometimes they have limited information for an issue that may come up, so they'll refer you over to someone in customer service, and someone from customer service will give you a call or email you, whichever way you require communication. Now, so we're good with the DMB, okay, and we're good with the Experian, okay. What I'll do is I'll do some more research on the Experian. I've just been getting started late these days. So I haven't been getting everything in, if you will, and then you still have to deal with your clients and run after them and answer their question and keep on answering questions, keep on taking calls from the husband and the wife. That's just the way it is. So sometimes I get bogged down, and then a lot of times what I'm noticing for myself, I just have to kind of step back from that and just look at their paperwork and take notes on their paperwork so that I can email them this, this is what I found, this is what you need to do. I do a lot of that anyway. But here for the past 3 weeks, it's just kind of gotten so convoluted, if you will. But it's okay. We'll get back to it. Um, let's see. So now, because remember, this is business credit part 2, what I'm going to go into now is the credit cards. I want to do do's and don'ts here. Um, I think that when you are establishing your business credit, we want to do business credit cards or business accounts. Well, let's just say solved inquiry, right? When you're doing solved inquiries, it's not hitting your duns or your Experian, okay? So once you put your information in and you do the solved, and it says, okay, yeah, you're qualified, right? Or the language may be you're qualified or pre-qualified, okay? You got to look at the language. If it says you're qualified, well then they'll continue on with the step. If it says you're pre-qualified, that means that they're going to go ahead on and do a hard pull on your duns. I think and your Experian. I think for these businesses is not like the personal, in which you get a lot of your score goes down, because that's not how it's generated to work for a business. So that's why business is better. But remember, I want to make sure that your personal is good, just in case something happened, right? Now, example, I know you keep saying just in case something happened, what's going to happen? Especially of you who are new business owners or who are thinking about it. Let me give you an example of what I do. I have logistics. One of my trucks goes out for a month. I've lost $20,000 in income, right? Well, I can call my creditor for the truck and say, hey, listen, this truck is in the shop. Of course, I'm going to give them proof. This truck has been in the shop since November the 1st, and now it's December the 1st. That's 30 days. And the creditor is going to say, oh, okay. Oh, no worries. And I'm going to make sure that I'm not getting hit for that. But they don't do that in business. They just, okay, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to hold off. There are certain things it's certain mechanisms that they have built in to the credit portion for business that they don't have for the personal. So that's why I say it's always good to make sure your personal is good, because see, if your personal is good, you could probably go and get a loan, right, to float your business, right? But that's just an example, okay? Let's make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do. Now, we talked about we're getting into your business credit cards, the solved approvals. When you do your research, okay, it's so many, guys. I just cannot just give you my top 10 because it's so many. But what I'm learning, as I told you last week, I was reading last week, but for this week, what I've learned is that you want to make sure you're doing soft pulls, okay? Those soft pulls come with approval or pre-approval. The pre-approval is a good way to indicate that you're going to get something. Approval, you know you're going to get something, right? So those accounts, you want to target those accounts that have that language in it, okay? You want to make sure that you have your income there. Now, this is what I'm going to say about income. You say to me, well, T. Foxy, I have been doing this business for 2 years, but I don't have a DBA, and I don't have a DBA. I'm not incorporated of any sort, but I've made $50,200.12, right? because you've made that and it's in your personal, I'm going to say that you go ahead on and use that income. Go ahead and put that 50,212 cent in there, okay, for your income, okay. Now, a lot of you may say, okay, well, it's not shown anywhere. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you legitimately made that, right? And if you legitimately made that, even though you didn't have anything right there, meaning your taxes or anything, you can put that right there because you're going to be able to get a line. Remember, we don't know what the line is going to be unless you have specifically said, I want I want 100,000. A lot of them in those type applications, they will ask you what amount are you looking for. So you better have the amounts. Now I'm gonna say if you made $50,200.12, you want to probably be going for about 15,000. But I can say that to you because my debt to income ratio is low. That's the same thing with the business. You got to make sure that you don't have a 1,200 note here and a 1,300 note here and a 500 note here, because that's going to make you not as profitable, right? So that means your income has to be increased, right? Now, keep in mind that they may ask for the income the higher you go, so you better be ready to show them something that shows your income, whether it be your maybe your last 6 or last 12 months of bank statements, or whether it be your a W-2, not a W-2, a 1099, or your tax return, okay? Or your Schedule C from your tax return, okay? Because that's what they're looking at. They don't need those other pages. They just need the Schedule C. So with having said that, we're going to go into now the dues. The due is, let's do soft approval, okay? Those that do soft approval, and you can look those cards up. The don't is, do not go and apply for credit when you know your DUNS number is new. You have to give your DUNS number now. I think it's 60 days. You have to give your DUNS number, Experian. Just give everybody 60-day DNB and Experian to report, okay? Those accounts that you have on there. And those accounts that you've gotten, we talked about that last week, are your net 30 account. Now, there are some that are net 60 and net 90. So that way you can report those to the Bureau and then they'll automatically be reporting, right? So we talked about Quail last week. We talked about Shell gas card, and we also talked about your account, your secure account with Wells Fargo, okay? You want to make sure that you're staying within those guidelines that I've given you, and it also compounds with what you've gotten this week, which is your soft pulls, okay? Which means it's not pulling. Now we're going into do not pull any business. Do not apply for any business that's gonna pull your business credit, and you don't have anything on there. I've been getting, I don't know how they do this. It comes from somewhere. I don't know if it came from the because for my motorcycle line, it just has it just has a DBA, right? Because I haven't ran it by my attorney as of yet. So to protect it in the capacity in which I could protect it, I just got the DBA on it. So I've been receiving offers from, guess who? American Express. Guys, my company is a DBA. So I'm so crazy till I apply. It's a hit on my credit. I knew better than that because I know American Express, even though they have a smaller division, I have not yet figured it out. Smaller division meaning where they'll use a lower credit number, but they still want you at least 680, right? To them, that's low. They still want you there, but they will, some kind of way, if you apply, they deny you. You can call and say, hey, I'm in business, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and they'll give you something, right? But like I said, I haven't had time to do any of that. Do not apply for American Express on your personal or your business. If you don't have a 680 on your personal, do not apply. If your business is not being reported for 60 days, and it may be 90 with American Express, do not apply. Do not apply for any accounts in which they're going to do hard inquiries if you do not have that credit established and if you do not have the financial verification to give to them, because they're going to ask. Now, let me tell you what it's called a Walmart Community Credit Card. It's for the business. Do you know, even when, and you got to be paying attention, do you know even when I put all of the information in, it asks for a personal guarantor? Personal guarantor is you. It's your credit. It's your social security number. Now, would I have gotten it? Yes. But that's not what I'm trying to do. And that's not how this goes. Because they were not accepting the EIN, right? And they were not, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say EIN. They were not accepting the DUNS number solely. They wanted a guarantor. So you got to stay away from those as well, unless you're a 680 and you need some personal credit as well. Because, yeah, they're going to give it to you. I was asking for 10 grand. They was going to give it to me. Of course they were going to give it to me, right? But that's not what I wanted to do. So I think that for the purposes of doing business, that we need to make a list of our short term and our long term, right? As it pertains to accounts that you want. Those accounts that you know you can get right now, get them, right? With the business credit, you at least need a minimum of 6, okay? So before you start doing anything, do your research, because it's out there as to what, who, and what. You could have 2 different gas cards, so that's 2 companies. You can have Staples and Quail, that's 4 companies supply. You can have Uline, okay? So that's 6, right? So you got to know what you need to do and how you're going to do it. In my opinion, and with my experience, I write everything down. Guys, I did not bring it, but I have 3 different books. I have my client book, I have my book, and I have my writer book. Okay? So, and I know that sounds like it's a lot, and it is, but it helps me to be able to remember. And when I write it, I see it. You know, Habakkuk, I think 5 and 7 says, write it down and make it plain. You got to have a vision. It's okay that it's here, but let's now put the vision from that's here, which is in your brain, onto pen and paper. Okay? Get a tablet and name it business. Okay? Not only name it business, write down what you want, but I want you to date it. And I want you to put the time frame in which you want that to be done. And then write down everything you want to be done within that time frame. That will really help you. Okay? So the business credit is an awesome tool to have because you can actually live by that. I believe, I know a lot of people live on their business credit. Okay? Because you can purchase real estate. You can purchase cars, trucks. You can get credit cards. That's the basis that's the basis of how we live, right? For those of us who are interested in owning, right? So let's look to high goals, not just these mediocrity goals. Let's look to high goals. Remember, you do business in the name of Jesus to create wealth and generational wealth. We have not because we ask not, right? So you got to be asking for these things. I am here to help you. I'm going to charge for the consultation, but I'm here to help you, right? If you don't want me to do your credit or to establish your business, which business loan specialists here have a lot of experience in it, and I have affiliates associated with business loan specialists. If you don't want me to do that, I will guide you to the folk who can, right? All the while of making sure that you're okay. I have a checklist that I go by, right? Because I have to see everything. Even in my credit, there's a checklist that I have that I go by, right? And I have dates on there as well for these creditors. So we want to make sure that you're getting what you need, okay? You can contact me. My information is on the screen. My email is there and my phone number is there. However, if you do not receive my voice, just leave me a voice message or you can text me, okay? Now, what I do around the world. It doesn't matter where you are. Just so long as you have interest here in the United States, we can get it done. Like I say, it's not just me doing these things. I have a team that I work with for the things that I cannot get done, if you will, okay? So with having said that, it has been great talking to you guys. I want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your mental health, you're taking time to yourself, and you are being a blessing to others. We appreciate you so much here at the Boss Up Houston Network and Let's Talk Business and Real Estate with T. Foxy Wyckoff, aka Lexus Companies. We love that you're tuning in. If you should have any questions or concerns, please drop us comments and I will respond to them. I thank you so much. May the rest of your week be blessed and may you be safe. Have a great day.
Hi, this is T. Foxy Wyckoff, and this is Let's Talk Business and Real Estate, where faith, hope, and determination comes alive. And you can't talk business without talking real estate. The Lord will bless your barns, and He will bless your hands and everything you put them to do. The Lord will bless the property in which He's given you. Tune in to Let's Talk Business and Real Estate on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on the Boss Up Houston Network.